Alright, so we're outside the gates of Pompeii. Tried a cappuccino at one of the tourist traps back here. Don't recommend it.
The Experiencing Italy series continues from Pompeii. We arrived as early as possible in the ancient ruins of Pompeii, mostly to avoid the heat of the day, but also to try and avoid the tourists, which you can see we are failing at doing. You can hear from my huffing and puffing, this is a very steep climb. As we walked around the center of the main piazza, it looks almost void of people. I did manage to get the usual tourist shot of the ruins with Mount Vesuvius in the background. It is always fun to walk amongst 2,000-plus-year-old ruins. Of course, some of them have been converted to more modern uses. Right now, we are searching for the place where my grandparents had their picture taken during World War II. I did a lot of research on Google Street View, and sure enough, we found it.
Look carefully. Over there. Look carefully there. The graffiti that was on the wall in 1944 is still there. And a little bit of the stucco or plaster that was there with my grandparents in the background, it's also fallen away. So what my wife and I are going to do is we're going to recreate this photograph.
I'll keep the photo of my wife and I private, but it was an amazing experience to be standing in my grandparents' footsteps over 70 years later.
Pizza! Pizza oven! Looks like a pizza oven to me.
On my last visit, I was able to go inside some of the more well-preserved villas freely, but now you need to purchase tickets to see them. I was hoping to photograph the inside of them since I find them more interesting than the ruins outside. I especially wanted more images of the frescoes. I've had some success selling these images as stock over the years. We did get to see some archaeological students practicing their trade because the ruins are still being excavated. We wandered around the stone streets of the city, still bearing the ruts from wagon wheels. We headed over to one of the more popular buildings in Pompeii, the baths. They were closed, but these are some of the images I took from inside the baths on my last visit. As the morning continued, the crowds really started to come in. So we headed to the other popular area, the brothel. Unfortunately, the crowds were terrible. The brothel is popular for its well-preserved menu of services that are painted on the walls.
So this is a good example of the tourism industry here. So the tour guides have their big groups. They're funneling straight out of a Roman bath, straight into the line for the brothel, which obviously is one of the more popular locations here. So I'm not going to go into the brothel today, but I was there last time. Here are some images, and some of them are a bit explicit.
With the now unbearably long lines, we're making our way out of Pompeii.
So to get out here, we're avoiding the main thoroughfares and taking the less crowded side streets, as the tour guides are keeping all of their clientele on the fastest path possible to the more popular sites. But when you cross over to these side streets, much quieter.
This is the difference in the crowds after just 2 hours. No way I'm going to get any good photographs here today. I would say that Pompeii is just too over commercialized now with the large groups and extra fees. If you visit, get here when it opens and head straight to the brothel and then any other villas that you purchase tickets for. This was my second visit to Pompeii and most likely my last. In 2 weeks is the final episode of the Experiencing Italy series. We're going to Capri. Until then, stay safe and enjoy your travels.